Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into the top 10 most dangerous countries in the world. This list isn't meant to scare you, but to understand the challenges people in these countries face daily. We'll look at places grappling with civil wars, terrorism, political instability, and humanitarian crises. Please note that this video is based on various reports and statistics, and the situation in these countries can change over time. This isn't a definitive ranking, but rather a snapshot of some of the most pressing global issues right now. Buckle up, folks. It's about to get real. Syria, once a popular tourist destination, has been locked in a brutal civil war for over a decade. Widespread violence, massive displacement of civilians, and a humanitarian crisis that's almost impossible to comprehend. The Syrian people have been caught in the crossfire of a conflict fueled by international powers, extremist groups, and a government that seems to have missed the memo on basic human rights. Afghanistan, a country that's been through more regime changes than a Kardashian goes through Instagram filters. After 2 decades of US intervention, the Taliban swept back into power in 2021, leading to a swift collapse of the Afghan government. The country is facing a humanitarian crisis with food shortages, economic collapse, and a resurgence of violence. It's a situation that's both heartbreaking and infuriating, and frankly, it's hard to see a clear path forward. South Sudan, the world's youngest nation, is unfortunately a case study in how not to build a country. After gaining independence from Sudan in 2011, the country has been plagued by a civil war fueled by ethnic tensions, political rivalries, and a whole lot of oil. The humanitarian crisis in South Sudan is dire, with widespread hunger, disease, and violence, making it one of the most dangerous places in the world to be a civilian, let alone a child. Yemen, a country most people probably couldn't locate on a map, has been quietly suffering through one of the world's worst humanitarian crises for years. A brutal civil war, fueled by regional powers and armed groups, has turned the country into a living hell for its people. Widespread famine, a cholera outbreak, and a level of destruction that would make even the most hardened war correspondent weep. Iraq, a country still struggling despite the defeat of ISIS. Political corruption, sectarian violence, and the ever-present threat of terrorism continue to plague Iraq. It's a country desperately trying to heal, but the wounds of war run deep, and the scars are still visible everywhere you look. Somalia, the land of pirates, famine, and a government that makes your local homeowners association look like a well-oiled machine. Terrorist groups like Al-Shabaab continue to wreak havoc, and piracy is still a thing. The government struggles to exert control over much of the country. The Central African Republic, a country stuck in a never-ending cycle of violence. Ethnic and religious tensions, coupled with competition for resources, have fueled a conflict that has displaced hundreds of thousands. The international community seems content to just sit back and watch the carnage unfold. Libya, a country that descended into chaos after the overthrow of Muammar Gaddafi in 2011. The country is effectively divided, with 2 rival governments vying for control and a whole lot of armed groups throwing their weight around. It's a chaotic free-for-all that's left the country in ruins and its people caught in the crossfire. The Democratic Republic of Congo, rich in natural resources, should be one of the wealthiest nations on earth. Instead, it's a poster child for the resource curse, where vast mineral wealth fuels conflict, corruption, and unimaginable suffering. Multiple armed groups, often with backing from neighboring countries, are locked in a brutal battle for control of these resources, leaving the Congolese people caught in the crossfire. Venezuela, a country that proves even countries without active war zones can still be incredibly dangerous. Once a wealthy oil-producing nation, Venezuela has experienced a spectacular fall from grace due to government mismanagement, corruption, and economic incompetence. Hyperinflation has rendered the currency practically worthless, food and medicine are scarce, and crime is rampant. So, there you have it, the top 10 most dangerous countries in the world. It's a sobering list, and honestly, it's just the tip of the iceberg. There are countless other countries facing their own unique challenges, from poverty and inequality to climate change and political oppression. But here's the thing, awareness is the first step towards action. By shining a light on these issues, we can start to hold those in power accountable and work towards creating a more just and peaceful world. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content. Stay safe and stay informed.